Millennials. Good afternoon. How are you guys doing? Good evening, good morning.
Good morning,
Man.
good day.
Hey. How are you guys doing? How are you doing, Lesedi?
I'm like on fire. It's so hot.
Oh, okay.
Got nothing to do with me though.
Oh, okay. We have a wonderful guest today. He goes by the name of Standwa.
Oh, that's me.
Yes. Son, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good, and you, Kat?
He's very good. Before we actually get into why he's here, who is he, what is he thinking about, and so forth, just want to say shout out to you, our YouTube followers, viewers, Instagram, Twitter, and pretty much everybody, whoever you are. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing the video with your friends and family. And yeah, shout out to our other ignorant millennial, our co-host Bafana, wherever you are, where you're working. The people miss you, man. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Standa, so we have you here today to talk about that moolah, that investment, that investing, and so forth.
Yeah.
But before we do that, let's say to you, why you want to start up with a quick fire?
I want to get to know Standwa a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
So we usually start the show with a quick fire. We have 5 questions. Like you have to think about it like now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the first question is, if you had any superpower, what would it be?
Invisible.
Oh, okay. Wow, that was good.
Okay.
I never expected it. Okay, and then if you could have 3 people, dead or alive, for dinner, who would they be?
Oh, Malcolm X.
Oh, wow.
Thomas Sankara and my grandfather.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never met the guy. Yeah.
Ken?
iPhone or Android?
Android.
Oh, okay.
All day, every day.
Ready?
How would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Okay. I would describe myself as short, straight and direct, straight to the point, and creative. I think.
You are creative. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of getting into that, man, I checked your profile and everything else. It says you're a brand rockstar.
Yeah.
So tell us, who is Standwa? Which company are you from? What do you do, and so forth? What is a brand rockstar?
So a brand rockstar is just someone who is just all about the brand, right?
Yeah.
It pretty much means you do what I do is I'm the content and communications dude.
Okay.
Within the brand, pretty much. So I'm there singing, in a sense, to the audience and to the people and engaging with the community.
Okay.
So yeah, but that's not because of the way Easy Equities where I work. It's a startup, right?
Yes.
And so that means it's quite small. So your business or your role is not limited to that stuff.
Yes.
You end up having to speak to clients, do a little PR, do a little event management and coordination. So it's actually varied, eh? So yeah.
And what did you study?
So I studied economics and international relations / politics.
What?
Yeah, and then after that I did national. What do they call that thing? National qualification. NQF.
NQF.
Oh, okay.
NQF 6 in financial instruments.
Okay.
Right.
So, and
that's how I got in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
to that game.
No, you go.
What happens at Easy Equities? What is Easy Equities?
So Easy Equities is an online stockbroker, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that what it means is we give you access to, right for now, the JSE and the New York Stock Exchange. Mm-hmm. So you can just buy and sell shares on the platform, on the app or the website.
Okay. So how does that work? Do I deposit money to you guys? Then from there on, I can now purchase those shares through you guys.
Exactly.
It works a similar. Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. So it acts as a wallet for you. You fund it,
Yes.
and from that wallet you go in and you buy the different shares on the market. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nah, that's actually very interesting. So how long does that usually take from the moment I click buy, like for me to be an actual owner?
So
is it?
So it's instantaneous because the markets are always moving. Like you will always find a seller for the stock you want to buy and a buyer for the stock you want to sell. So it can take, it's seconds really. I think it's also milliseconds. But also it depends on the liquidity of a stock, but that's more technical.
Okay.
So if a stock is not highly traded, for instance, it's not as popular in the markets, it could take a day or so.
Okay.
And we have to then communicate to you because that's a special case.
Okay.
But outside of that, like usually it's instantaneous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And how different is Easy Equities from like your online trader accounts or trader accounts, like what is offered by, I think JC has one, Standard Bank I know has one.
Yes, FNB I think as well.
So then there's this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there's two different like things that people usually associate with stocks, right?
Yeah.
The quick trading, you know these guys, the forex guys and all that
Yes.
stuff. We don't delve in that stuff. We're not that quick. Make deposit small money, make big money, quick kind of stuff. What we are is an investment platform. So you can buy stocks, and you can't do all of the things that your CFD and forex trading platforms do.
Okay.
For instance.
Okay.
So there are also platforms on that these banks offer that are also just like us, simple investing platforms. And the difference is our fees and just how cool we are, really.
Okay, let's get into that. What are your fees and what makes you cool?
Our fees are, so unlike a lot of the other brokers, we have no registration fees.
Yes.
We have no minimums required, and there's no monthly fees. So, yeah, okay, I can't speak about other banks, otherwise I get into trouble.
Yeah.
So it's the fees, it's those low fees, and the only time we charge you is brokerage fees or transaction fees, and that's like 0.25%.
Yeah, and that's per transaction.
That's
like
per
you said,
transaction.
it's not per month and whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, how long has Easy Equities been existing? Because I was oblivious to its existence until this year. I always thought Standard Bank was the main one if you wanted to go into trading stocks and so forth.
We've been around since 2014. We're 5 next month.
Okay.
5 years old.
Really?
Birthdays
You're that
next month.
old?
We're quite old, eh?
Yeah?
It's been hard getting the message out there, but I think now a lot of people are finally getting it.
Is it because they're the Brand Rockstar now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think we scored ourselves a bit.
No, I just
So, so yeah, that's pretty much it. It's been so I mean, it's just taken a while for people to. Also, there's an education element to it. I think you're seeing a lot more people get into the finance literacy space, and so they're sharing a lot of knowledge with their communities and their audiences as well. So there's been a change in the last 5 years or so, and luckily we're just riding that wave.
So it's got very little to do with you.
It's all about grabbing an opportunity.
Yeah,
I think. I mean, like, as soon as you invite me, I was like, I have to go.
Thank you.
Okay. So it sounds like you're very knowledgeable about Easy Equities and stocks. We will still question your try to find out how deep or your depth of knowledge for stocks there and everything else. So what interested you particularly in, like, hey,
because you said you studied economics, but now you're a brand rock star, and I see sort of why you got into it, marketing, whatever. But what was it that drew you into Easy Equities specifically?
So what happened was, I think the truth is, my whole vision and career focus was was focused on something else. So I was interested in international relations, and when you study that stuff, you're thinking the UN and all that stuff. But unfortunately, the way things are in South Africa right now, unemployment rate is high, especially for graduates.
Yes.
So what I did was, I walked around Sandton to drop off my CV to like different places. And then I found...
How far back is this?
It's 2016.
They didn't chase you out?
Nah, they didn't.
Oh, okay. Continue then.
So I just literally found this one building that said Hedge Fund Academy. And so I knocked on the door and I was like, this looks interesting. I'm just wondering if I can drop my CV off. And they were like, we're actually a graduate program for... So it was pure chance and pure luck. And they told me what they do. And then from there I was like, actually, this is pretty cool. So I found the market's pretty cool and stuff, and then I signed up, and so I did their program. Easy found me through that program.
Wow.
So if there are like unemployed grads who are looking, especially in the BCom space, if they're looking for employment or are interested in investing, I think they should check out Novia One Hedge Fund Academy.
Okay. Novia One.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put the details below. You can read about it. Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I got my start.
Wow.
So you was by pure luck.
Pure luck.
And now somebody's probably watching the show by pure luck. Now how important is it for the person that's watching or whoever, for young people to start investing and know about finances or financial markets?
I think it's very important because you know what happens, and especially in our communities, like growing up, what we always used to do is we just consume the money that we make, the income, right?
Yes.
So it's more of a thing of changing traditions, or not tradition, but changing the culture. What do you call it?
Yeah, no, it's changing the culture because we're so used to, or the behavior.
Exactly, changing the behavior as a whole, right? So changing our behavior from just being consumerism, and getting into the habit of investing. So the trick about easy equities is that because of the low cost and the low barriers to entry and be part of the market, it's great for like young people to just use it as a practice, to just practice in it, because we give you demo accounts, for instance, and you can buy a fraction of a share instead of buying a whole share, which can be quite expensive.
A fraction of a share?
Yeah.
That's isn't that impractical? Because you cannot buy a fraction of a share in real life. Can you?
Yeah, but you can.
You can.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So like you get the economic benefits of like whatever fraction you get. So if it's dividends, you get that fraction's dividends.
It looks like your mind has been
so
blown.
I can buy a fraction of one share in like Coca-Cola, for example.
For instance, exactly, yeah. So like,
would I have a share certificate for a fraction?
Did you know share certificates have been discontinued since 2001 during the digital age? So there are no share certificates. Your share certificates are kept at a place called Straight.
Yes, but yeah, that's Straight like so.
Yeah. So it's there. It's
Would my
digital.
details be on Straight as like I own a because Straight is what enables me. That fraction enables me.
Wait, guys, I'm so confused. What is Straight?
So let's dial it back. I think.
Yeah.
So Straight is like it's like a body that it's a register that keeps everyone's shareholdings.
Yes.
Right. Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like it's a deeds office, basically.
Okay, cool.
In a way, like, but when you buy a share,
like my fraction of a share, because I can't afford Naspers.
So now the fraction of a share isn't kept with Straight. It's kept with us.
Yes.
Until you have all of the fractions.
Okay.
All right.
Then we go to Straight.
That goes to my point, because that's how I'm like. So you cannot, because when you own one share, when they have an annual general meeting, you can go there and vote. Exactly. But when you own a fraction, you can't. You don't.
That's the one thing.
A fraction is in essence the same as owning a unit trust. Because you remember in a unit trust, it's where it's a collective, and as it says, in fact, what they call now is collective investment schemes. So like if they say it's an equity, it's an IM equity fund. You'll find they've invested in Standard Bank Easy Equities or whatever, right? So then me owning one unit trust, in actual sense, I own a fraction in those companies.
Of those companies.
Yes.
In a sense, but like the technical side of it's different.
Yes.
But you got like the base, like the like how it works.
Yes. So you're talking about unit trust. Now, what's the difference between a unit trust and an ETF? Because I see like the buzzword now is ETFs, and like, I get an ETF.
Yeah.
And like 2 years ago, it was like get a UT, and then it was TFSA. Like what?
I even asked like someone who had been in the company longer than me, and they were like,
"Oh, already?"
The main difference is ETFs are listed on the stock exchange.
And ETFs are exchange traded funds. I learned that acronym. Thank you.
You know what it means?
He's going to tell me now.
So these are funds that are created by financial institutions, right? And what they do is they create like a sense of, or a sort of basket of assets and stocks, right? And other instruments where they put them together, and it's usually themed. So you'll find an ETF that's called Top 40. That literally means the top 40 stocks in the country. You'll find one called what do you call this? Fourth Industrial Revolution.
Okay.
It's all about companies that are linked to the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and so on and so forth. So that's literally that's an ETF.
Potentially have lost out on that particular benefit of the interest free, because now SARS is going to look at you own this particular asset now. Now I'm going to charge you on the capital gain of the asset and whatever.
Like,
but that's
so technical. Like I'm so lost. Okay, as a first-time investor, like, are you just starting? What should they invest in? So I know you said ETFs and TFSA that you're into. Like,
So that's the first one you consider, TFSA and
like
ETFs.
I've downloaded my Easy Equities account. Now what?
Now what? I'd say our tagline has been for the past few years, invest in the brands you love. So I know it's a start though, it's not a proper strategy.
Brands you love?
Yeah, brands you use or love, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, what do you like? Samsung? So buy some Samsung shares, yeah.
Okay.
Or like I followed that.
Yeah.
Went to Mr. Price, saw flames.
But anyway, then, so that's like a start. For instance, I don't even use Discovery. Let me not use Discovery as an example.
I don't know why, but
okay, but that's the first. Okay, so but that's
like
the first part. So invest
in
directly in the company that you like,
right.
And then maybe start looking at baskets or ETFs.
Yeah, look at the whole sector that it's in. Try to discern if maybe that one would have been a better alternative.
How do you discern? Like, what do you look out for? Like, because I know there's charts.
There's charts,
yeah,
and then there's financial statements that they put out. So if you're a publicly listed company, you have to make your finances public. So you make it public either on your website or on the JSE Sense, and you can find it through there. There's also different online sources you could use from your MoneyWeb.
Okay, MoneyWeb.
So like MoneyWeb, they have information on their site where you can just go there and click, and if you want financials for a specific company, they've got them. But again, so why we say keeping in the brands you love is that if you have an interest in a company, you should have interest in its finances, and that's what kind of keeps you motivated and more curious. You know, like I want to know what's happening in Microsoft.
So
let me tell you.
I hear you, but I kind of disagree. Now I use Cell C and I invested in Cell C. I'm seeing flames right now.
That's why you're seeing flames. I mean, you know, that's why you're seeing flames. I think the whole thing is, if you don't want to pay a financial manager to do the stuff for you, but also you don't want to do research, what's going to happen?
I think a very important thing for most of you viewers watching is that, okay, fine, does Easy Equity have a financial advisor for me? If now, I've signed up with Easy Equities, is there a financial advisor who will guide me in terms of which shares to invest in?
So we don't have a license to give you financial advice.
Yes.
Okay.
So what we did was we created a blog portal and a research portal.
Yes.
So different analysts and stuff publish their market reviews, the stocks they're looking at, and stuff like that.
And not necessarily analysts from Easy Equities, like outside ones as well.
We've also had outside ones. Most of them are from
Easy Equities.
Actually, not most of them. There's literally one, and then we've got a provider that, like an external provider that gives us their research, and we just funnel it through.
So we can say it's independent.
So it's independent. Yeah.
So we're talking about Cell C and talking about investing in the brands you love. So you invested in Cell C.
Also, why do you love Cell C?
No, it's just an example. I loved Mr. Price and literally it showed me flames.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I have family that buys there, people buy there, my friends buy there. I'm like, it doesn't make sense. The traffic in the store and what's happening on the stocks. So I've just left it there. I do want to know though, if you have a case like your Cell C or your Standwa, you do have like an invest show or invest show. How does that work?
Investro is like the world's first insurance on stocks.
Oh, hey now.
Yeah. So those guys, they created like this cool feature, and it's added onto our website where you can just insure, I think it's the top 110 stocks on the JSE for now. So they are looking to expand, and even internationally. Okay. But for now, it's the big guys.
Well, how does it work?
Yeah, how does it work? Because it's insurance on your share.
Yeah.
Or your basket.
On your share. So so people are affected materially when there's mismanagement or fraud mismanagement on a particular stock, right?
Standoff.
And like a Standoff.
And
that affects everyone, right? That share price drop. So that's how they use it as a measure. So it's not like you said, but my Standoff share dropped. But we can see, I didn't drop for everyone else. So what are you talking about? It doesn't affect you in isolation. It affects everyone. So what they do is there's a trigger moment where if there's like news that comes out to the public, that's the trigger moment where you can start to make a claim. So it's all about that it affects everyone. It's not just on a case by case. Like
for example, I know you didn't want to mention it earlier. With NHI when it was announced, Discovery stock plummeted or whatever. Yeah. So in that particular scenario, would I have been able to?
In that particular scenario, it's not that. So it only covers when it's like a management issue.
Yeah,
So if there's fraud happening,
like
so if
Steino.
it's like Steino,
like Steino.
see, or like if it's something where another company comes into the market, or like a new product, even if it's government, and it makes your stock less attractive.
Okay.
It doesn't.
That's competition.
That's
It's got nothing
competition.
to do with
Yeah.
you. So, but then let's say I buy my shares, my Steino shares for 100 rand, and they were going for 100 rand each, right? And I insured it at 100 rand.
Right.
If it goes up, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to understand. Like if it goes up, is it also insured? Is the insurance also going to go up based on the share going up, or like
So
I
they
insured at 100 rand? So if it goes to 1,000, I'm still at 100 rand.
It's if it drops, really. I think
Yeah.
that's when you need to worry. If it goes up, you
Let's
still
say it
fine.
goes up to 1,000, and then tomorrow Standoff comes back again.
So they charge you a % fee from your
So
purchase.
like, okay.
So not from if it goes up. It's not like you're gonna have to keep paying every time it ticks up. Yeah.
Okay.
So, just to wrap it up on that investor, typically how much does it cost? I think that's the key thing most people right now watching is.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna just, because I haven't really, you could ask them because they would know the prices, but I think it's 0.5 is the fee, the insurance fee. On the purchase, 0.5%.
Sure.
Could be wrong.
Okay. 0.5%.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's
Now
0
that's
point
legit.
something. It's very
that's
little.
very,
Yeah.
that's very
Okay.
minute.
But I mean, go on the app, on your Play Store, whatever, download Easy Equities, and then I think it's easy to read. We went through it. Yeah.
So speaking of that, how easy is it for me to register to get into easy equities?
It's fairly simple. So this week we launched a new feature that allows you to be automatically FICA verified.
Okay.
So instead of having to upload your documents, as long as your details are correct, your ID number, name, and that, it checks the different providers that we have that go into Home Affairs and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
It verifies your account, so you don't have to.
Oh, okay. So leverage off of what systems are in place already.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now it's getting even more simple. All you have to do is to go to the site, register for an account, create a username, put in your email address, make a password, and then complete your profile, all your details.
Wow.
And does it work the same? Because you mentioned JSE and the New York Stock Exchange.
Especially so if you're South African or from the common monetary area, you get access to both.
Okay.
JSE,
so you don't have
and
to be figured.
you don't have to necessarily be FICA'd, like you don't have to upload your documents.
Okay.
Yeah. Or you don't, what do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know. You understand my question, yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying that as long as I'm figured once and you're happy that Lesedi is Lesedi.
Oh, yeah, I get you. Yeah,
okay.
you don't have to FICA twice. Yeah,
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
So then, now I'm in, got a profile and whatever. How do I keep track of my stock and investments? What's
How do
the
you stay on
typical
top of it?
dashboard and whatever that you guys have?
Exactly. So we've got a dashboard, a nice little dashboard that breaks it up into your asset classes that you have. But I mean, just scroll down from that and you'll be able to see your portfolio. So you'll see the holdings that you have, how your Steinhoff shares doing today, how your ETFs are doing, all that stuff. It's consolidated onto one dashboard.
Oh, okay.
So, but there's different wallets that you have. So you have a tax-free savings wallet.
Okay.
You click on that, you'll be able to see all of your ETFs and other products.
Yeah.
If you have a USD one, you click on that, you'll be able to see all of your USD shares.
Okay.
And then your JSE ZAR shares, you'll be able to see that wallet.
Okay.
Side question, are all your investments with Easy Equities? Or do you have things on the side?
So I've got things with, what you call this? Satrix Now.
Oh, yeah.
Satrix Now is one that I've got. But as you know, that works with Easy as well.
Yeah.
And what you call this? Luno.
I wanted to touch on the Luno and Bitcoin and all that. You have a fund, or in Easy Equities, there's a fund called DCX.
Yeah.
How do the tokens work?
So the tokens are they work like ETFs work.
Okay.
In a sense. But
because instead of getting shares, you get tokens when you
purchase it.
Yes, when you purchase it.
So what they do is the DCX guys, they created like a basket, also like an index of what do you call this, cryptocurrencies, and they just weighted it and they can rejig it as they like and stuff. So it works like an ETF.
So you've got a fraction of a fraction of Bitcoin. Okay.
In a sense, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Should I?
No, you can go. It's
I just
fine.
want to round it up, Because like a lot of you guys understood your language. I was like over my head. What's your final sort of advice that you can give to, you know, our peeps?
She took that from my head.
I'd say use this opportunity. Use Easy Equities because what you can do is if you register for an account there and you're still not really comfortable with investing, we give you like a demo account, which is cool, and you can take your time on that, use it to practice and navigate the platform and the markets. And then if you feel like you're getting the hang of it, deposit like a little money. I mean, there's
like 200 rand instead of going out just
like 200 rand, like 200 or 50 rand or or 30 rand, whatever suits you. And just start there and buy the fractions, buy a whole share if you're in the mood. Just just take it easy, and then read up on the online resources. We provide external resources. Get on Twitter, man, and because Twitter gives you news fast. Yeah, you don't want to be left behind because you're not online engaging with people. So use the resources around and online and just take it from there.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Start small, think big, be not afraid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Guys, you can go now after watching this video. Just start up an account with Easy Equities. It costs nothing. Then start with 200 rand, put it aside, invest in Easy Equities, and from there on, buy whatever stock. And
tell us how it's going. Yeah. We have an insider now if it's going south. Thank you,
right.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.